All right, Bengal fans, welcome back to the podcast with the ISU Athletic Director. I'm Jeff Tingey, the Athletic Director here. We're starting again. Summer's done, thank goodness. We love the vacations, but when school starts again and all of the athletes come back, this is our favorite time of the year. Sporting events and action and excitement and a lot of things are going on right now, and so really happy about that, happy to get going. As a background, you know, all of our students are back. School has been in session for 2 days. Today is day number 3 for school, and they're back and excited. The student athletes are not weighed down by all of the academic initiatives and challenges that they have yet. So they're not there yet, and we'll keep working towards that. Yesterday, for our student athletes, we had 2 events for them. One was a general gathering with them up in the Performing Arts Center in the Jensen Concert Hall. It's the first time we'd ever actually done that. Got all of our student athletes together in one location. It was a great meeting. I think it was a great success. And then after that, we sent them all down to Outer Limits Fun Zone, where they ate pizza and played laser tag and video games and enjoyed getting to know each other. So it was a great way for our students to start the year. We've done that Outer Limits opening social 3 or 4 times already, and so pretty happy with that. But at the meeting that we had at the Jensen's Performing Hall, the Performing Arts Center, we introduced to them a new slogan, a new direction that we're going with in the athletic department called Dig Deep. And Dig Deep for me, while its genesis is not from me, it really strikes at home with me, and I'm really excited about it. I'm really proud about it. And so my 2 guests today, Steve Schaack, our Assistant Athletic Director for Media Relations and a lot of our external operations, and KaLee Ralphs, our Director of Marketing and Promotions and Game Management. They are the brainchild. I think that the actual first idea of this came from KaLee. Steve and KaLee were together talking, brainstorming, you know, shooting holes through walls, trying to figure out good things, and they came up with this. And so to these guys, it's a big 2 thumbs up for me. A great thing, and they're helping to make it come to fruition. And so I'm going to turn the time over to you guys to talk about it for our community members, how it came about. Besides the fact that I let the cat out of the bag and told most of it, you can give us more detail.
Well, I think it just started, Steve and I were talking in the spring that we wanted to create something that could really resonate and bring the department together, and it was something that the community could get on board with. And I myself am from southeastern Idaho, and I really thought it would be good for us to kind of get back to our roots. What built this community, who the people are, and for me it made a lot of sense to really talk about that hard work, not even the blue collar mentality, maybe even like a no collar mentality. So that's where we wanted to go to, but even more than that, we wanted more than a slogan. We wanted an emblem that when people saw it, they could really associate it with that feeling of that hard work mentality. So that's kind of where it started, and then Steve and I kind of bounced some ideas back and forth, and somewhere out of it, and talking to the marketers on lower campus, the shovel grew, and from that, Dig Deep came from it. And it's something that we're really proud of, and we hope that the community feels that same way that we do about it as well.
And I think it's something we knew that we had to start internally in how we work and how we do our jobs and how the student athletes perform, and you know, KaLee and I thinking differently, and you know, what can we do different that we haven't done before, and as that grows internally, then hope externally people will catch on and see the shovel and want to know what it means, and give us a chance to talk more.
Yeah.
So.
Well, this has been introduced to all of our staff members and coaches, and it's been introduced to our athletes how now through marketing and sports information will we, for our fans, get this out to the general public so everyone else knows about it, hears about it?
One of the things we're doing internally, but people will see it externally, is we're doing a shovel holder of the week for staff members, where people that help us do our jobs, we have a chance to, recognize them for the good they do. And it can be anybody. It can be community members, it can be people in the department, it can be people on campus, recognizing people that help do our jobs. I think that's a way to continue to grow, to let people know we appreciate them, and we can't do what we do without their help. And so we hope with signage people will see, and stories people will see throughout the course of the year that we think it'll catch on.
Yeah, we've started to put up a lot of signage throughout Holt Arena, and Reed Gym will get theirs today, Davis Field will get theirs today. It'll serve as a reminder for our athletes every time they leave the locker room, every time they go out on the field, what we stand for, where our roots are, where our traditions are, and that together we're building something bigger than ourselves here. And we're just at the very beginning of that rebuilding process. From there, we have little things for our athletes, water bottles, stickers. We're really starting small now. We also have added the shovels to like our game day lanyards. You'll also see it on all of our marketing materials. But like I said, this isn't something that's big and bold and in everybody's faces, and that's not the purpose of it. The people who built this community, they didn't intend for that for their lives as well, for either. So what we want to do is start small, but have it be meaningful as well. You'll see it on the backs of our game day polos, and we have our shirts that went out as well. So we're hoping it'll just serve as a constant reminder.
Well, and I've seen a couple teams are adding the shovel or some of that wording to their uniforms and equipment. I think we'll see that more and more. For our fans, keep an eye out for those things. It'll be pretty neat to see that. Some of those coaches and athletes bought in right away. We introduced the idea to them, and they on their own said, well, we're going to put that on our uniform. We're going to put that on our travel wear, or our coats, or our workout t-shirts and that sort of thing. And we provided a workout t-shirt for all of the athletes with this, but just kind of been fun to see how the coaches have accepted this slogan and emblem and ran with it. Anything you've seen from your side?
We did soft sales throughout the course of the spring, and every coach said, "This is great. This is a great idea, genius." And so we felt like we were on the right, on the right track. And so, I agree. It's fun to see volleyball's game jerseys and dig deep across the sleeve right here. It's fun to see everybody embrace it and hearing people talk about it. And we're excited where it can go. One of the long-term goals I have with it is as I worked at Fresno State before, the green V became part of their official mark, where the V represents the people of the Central Valley there in California, and I want to see that over time. It's a long-term goal, but over time I would love to see that shovel become part of part of us, part of the official mark, like the V was at Fresno State.
Yeah, that was interesting, because that started as just a football thing at Fresno State, and expanded to everything.
Yeah, and now they have donation groups called like the Green V Society and things like that. And so I don't know. So that's way down the road, but eventually it'd be cool to get to that point. So
cool. That is neat. This was this was like Steve and KaLee mentioned. They started introducing this idea in the spring, and as we got in the summer, we started putting a little bit more, kind of a little touchy subject going into this. A few weeks ago, we introduced this to our staff, and just 2 days before we introduced it to our staff, there were a couple alumni that took some shots at the university, took a shot at me and took a shot at the president, and in so doing, a shot at our coaches and athletes. And it was From my standpoint, with all of our coaches and our staff, it was so interesting to see them dig deep, to pull it close, to make it part of everything that they do, and to turn it into their fight song. As we were being attacked in some ways, and everyone took that, and it has pulled us closer together. Not that we want to be attacked like that at any time, but the bond, the camaraderie, the closeness that we have, all of our staff, all of our coaches, different sports, and now with the athletes, is pretty strong. What have you guys seen with that?
I agree. We got our battle gear on, ready to go, and we're excited about the year. The field, the student athletes, the coaches, everybody wants to work together and help each other out, and it's good. And when we're all working together like that, good things can happen. And so, yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah.
I think all we really needed was just something to bring us all together, a common battle cry for all of us. And I agree. And from a community perspective, we didn't intend when we released this to have it be immediately released to the community. It was to unite us all together and then develop from there. But it actually has brought quite a few people, alums from the community, together and had them say, we get this, like this is us, this is what we've been saying, like hard work got us here. Like we might not have the best of everything, but that's what we are all about. We work hard for everything that we've been given, and that's what makes us tough. And the people here appreciate that. The graduates of Idaho State University, the community members, they understand what it means to work for everything that you've ever been given. And this slogan and this shovel, this means something to them already. There's a lot of good people here who want to see better for all of us and want to work together for that common goal. And I think this is just one thing that we can all get behind.
Well, that's great. Boy, that closes it up really well, KaLee. Very well said. Appreciate that. You know what? Yeah, this resonates well with me. Like KaLee said, I mean, Pocatello, Southeast Idaho, we're blue collar or no collar. We're farmers and railroad workers and industrial workers and miners and people who earn their pay by the sweat of their brow, and our student athletes are doing the exact same thing on the playing fields, earning it at the sweat of their brow. And so for all of our community members, all of our boosters and supporters, when you see that, latch onto it, accept it and use it, share it in your social media. We certainly will, and certainly are. We're looking for greatness. We're always trying to achieve excellence, and whether that means excellence in the classroom with a 100% graduation rate and 100% eligibility rate, or winning Big Sky championships in every sport, being competitive in everything that we do. That's what we're always striving for, and this pulls us together to support one another and cheer for one another. So for that, I thank KaLee, I thank Steve. Great slogan. Jenna behind the camera was part of it. Jenna might put a finger in front just to say I'm here. Jenna was part of it, and also Christian from KaLee's office. Appreciate these guys and their hard work. Look for the dig deep. Look for that in all that we do, and join it, be a part of us. We appreciate your support. Thank you for joining us today. Have a wonderful day, a wonderful week as we prepare for more events coming up in the next week. Football's at home on Thursday, August 31st. We've never had a Thursday game, so come out and support us, join us. We hope to see you there, and go Bengals.